He's staying at West Ham until the summer at least, but after limping off in the defeated Wolves, Marko Arnautovic is now a doubt for the visit of Liverpool on Monday.
Arnautovic has become the talisman for this West Ham side, especially when he plays in central positions. He's very, very difficult to handle. He's got huge talent. He can bring players in, he can hold up the ball, he can also create goals from almost nothing. So the kind of player that you absolutely need, especially if you don't have that much creativity that you can really rely on for goal scoring prowess behind him. So it's vital, I think, that he will stay until the end of the season.
Indeed, Arnautovic ranks highly against some of the Hammers' finest over the years. Of every West Ham player to have scored at least 10 Premier League goals, only Javier Hernandez and Dean Ashton have a better goals per 90 minutes record than the Austrian. Another player who's now a key cog in the West Ham machine is the Brazilian Felipe Anderson. The 25-year-old's already scored 8 Premier League goals in his first season. Only Paul Pogba and Gylfi Sigurdsson have scored more from midfield this term. But despite 3 defeats in a row in all competitions, the Irons have improved in the league under Manuel Pellegrini. West Ham have a higher win percentage and better defensive record than under his 2 predecessors. So, is he the right man to take the Hammers forward?
I think in Pellegrini they've got a guy that has found himself in a squad that he can motivate and can actually build into a functioning team. I think that's always been the problem with West Ham in recent years, that they've been great individuals there, but not necessarily a great team. But they look as if they're making a lot more progress towards finding that collective strength that they've been missing.
Liverpool's 1-1 draw against Leicester on Wednesday ensured they go into February 5 points clear of Manchester City. So how is the race at the top shaping up?
What's interesting about the next couple of weeks is that the usual dynamic that we've seen in recent weeks is going to be flipped, with Manchester City playing first and Liverpool potentially being a bit more under pressure to make sure that the gap doesn't decrease.
As you might expect, Liverpool boast an impressive away record. They're currently ranked second behind Spurs, with 29 points from 12 games on the road, 6 more than Manchester City. However, a trip to the London Stadium will be a tough test of the Reds' credentials. Fabinho's been outstanding since forcing his way into the first 11, with the Reds winning 9 of the 10 league games he started. The Brazilian was only a sub for the draw against Leicester, though. Perhaps a starting berth awaits him on Monday.
Fabinho has been called upon to step up, to provide that extra expertise, if you will, that extra physicality, and also that kind of know-how that he brings. And even playing him as a centre-back without really him missing a beat, I think has shown the benefit of having someone with so much intelligence and an idea of what's needed at any given time.
West Ham will need to remain focused in the final minutes if they're going to get anything on Monday night. They've shipped 5 goals in the 90th minute or later so far this season. Meanwhile, Liverpool have scored 4 goals in the same time period. And the recent tear of the tape doesn't bode well for the Hammers either. They've conceded 4 goals in each of their last 4 meetings with the Reds, and they've only scored twice themselves. A vast improvement on those levels of performance is needed.
Well, West Ham certainly can cause an upset. But Liverpool have shown unbelievable levels of consistency. You'd like to think that this is another 3 points for them, but it's not going to be, I think, such a foregone conclusion as it was, for example, when they last came to London and completely steamrolled West Ham. I was at the game, so it's going to be close. It's not impossible for West Ham to get something from that, but you'd still expect Liverpool to get the 3 points.